Well, this video is a little bit of a response to Dan Birch, who's been working on making hardens. He wants to perfect it, and well, I'm here to tell you I'm still working on that myself. But here's 6 examples of hardens that I've made, and pretty much what I've patterned my harden type after is comes from this book here, Story in Stone. This is the first edition that I got personally from DC and Val Waldorf, and I've always used this as a valuable reference because Val's drawings are way better than any photograph, especially if you're a napper. You want to see the flakes and you want to see the details, and she really does bring those out. So with that in mind, the point that I just recently made is this harden right here, and if you look, they're pretty much the same, except mine's just maybe I don't know, maybe 3/4 of an inch longer. But that's what I was striving for, is to get that look, and really, I think it came out pretty good. Look at the comparison. Now, I made that one out of Keokuk. This one here also is made out of Keokuk, and I did some beveling on this one. You can see the twist that the beveling gives it, but nice strong bevel down this side, and this thing is as flat as a board. Nice big percussion scars. Here's the beveling on the opposing side, and this is a gorgeous piece of Keokuk. Lots of blood veins through it, and it's probably one of my all-time favorite hardens. Many years ago, back in the 90s, I used to be able to get a lot of this stuff. This is black and white Novaculite, and it's got a nice hardened look to it also. Pretty similar to this one here as far as the way the base is, and that's the thing that I know Dan's been working on, because the base and the barbs are what make a Hardin Point a Hardin Point. This is just a pretty rock here. I think I made this one back 2000 or something like that. I can't remember. But my all-time best harden that I ever made comes with a story. This is the best harden, maybe the best point that I've ever made in my life. And made this back in 2005, and the story behind it was I was contacted by a fellow from around St. Louis, and he said his brother had found an absolutely beautiful harden, and he kept it in a shoebox in his closet. Well, one day their sister was looking for something, and she knocked the shoebox down, and the harden fell out, and it broke into many pieces. Well, you can only imagine how upset he was, and how, you know, he was just destroyed by this. And he put it back together the best he could, and had some pieces restored in it. And the guy wanted to know if I could actually replicate that point, so he sent the point to me, and I made one for him. And then I turned around and made one for me, and this is an exact copy of that point. Now look at how thin that point was. And I dare say this is as exact a copy as I can make of any point. But this is the harden that I made that I said was my best work ever, and I still claim this one is my best point I've ever made. It's just absolutely gorgeous hardened point. And a couple others here. I just kind of like the way the base looked on this one. It's not that old. I made this in 2011. It's nice and thin. Some Texas rock, and I believe it's raw stone. This wasn't heat treated, but you can see it's a pretty sweet looking harden. And last but not least is this harden that I made using Onondaga. I've never seen an Onondaga harden before, but if you want to talk about thin, look at this guy here. And this is flaked pretty good, and it's got a really nice spot right in here. So I don't know if this helped you much, Dan. This is my show and tell on my way of seeing hardens, but I do suggest, you know, getting this book, Story in Stone, if you don't already have it. Not only are there fabulous drawings like this, but there's tremendous write-ups about the history. There's different hardened points in here, and besides others. See, look at the variety of bases you see here. So you know, you can't just say one type is what a Hardin is. It's a variation, but they do have similarities. It's that stem base with those barbs, and the base can flare, it can knob, it can do all sorts of things. But that's a look at Hardins, and I hope this helped you. So let me know, and you other guys watching, let me know what you think. These are 5 or 6 favorites of mine that I've been hanging on to, and I just made this one here, so that's probably going to find its way into a keeper case. So thanks again for watching and for all the comments you guys leave. You're more than kind, and it's much appreciated. So hope you have a great weekend, and this is my look at Hardins.